also have one finalist. He will receive a $1,000 scholarship each year for the next 4 years. That is John Burgess.
Right here, right there, this whole life. as president of the Wadsworth Lions Club, I'd like to award the two 1988 Wadsworth Lions Club scholarships to Scott McMillan and to John Evans.
Nothing like a helping hand. Each year, the Wadsworth Rotary Club sponsors or provides 3 scholarships. They are based not on academic need or on financial need, but on both on scholarship and also activities involved while here at Wadsworth High School. We have a student aid fund, an endowment fund, and from the proceeds of that endowment fund, we are able to provide 3 $500 scholarships, and hopefully that will help defray just some of the costs of college education. This year, I'm happy to share with you the 3 young students who are the young adults who will receive the scholarships are Miss Cindy Grimm, Miss April Walkley, and Miss Debbie Lutz. Will they please come forward?
Good morning. I represent the Board of Directors and the many patrons of the City of Wadsworth who have contributed this year to the Scholarship Foundation of Wadsworth. We are a new organization. This is the first year we have given a scholarship, but we hope it's just the beginning of a long tradition. The Scholarship Foundation of Wadsworth has come into being because of a young man, a former student of Wadsworth, who saw a need and moved to meet that need. This young man felt that there was a need to offer financial assistance in the form of a scholarship to those students of Wadsworth High School who had definite financial need. But not only that, who were hardworking, who were goal-oriented, and who are not in the top 10 or 15% of their class. And that's a little different twist. Most academic scholarships are given only to those students who are in the top of the class, but we can't all be in the top 10 or 15%. And yet there are those other students who are certainly deserving of recognition and of help to meet their goals. The recipient of this year's award has been chosen from a fine field of applicants. This young man has shown growth and continued maturity through the 4 years of high school as he has consistently each year raised his grade point average. He has demonstrated strength of character and a willingness to work both in the classroom and out of the classroom. He has set for himself sound educational and career goals beyond high school. Therefore, the Scholarship Foundation of Wadsworth is delighted this morning to be able to present a $1,000 scholarship to Jeff Downs.
Good morning. It is an honor for my husband and me to be here today to present the Robert Fenzen Memorial Scholarship. Bob was a graduate of Wadsworth High and Ohio State University. He died in 1981 at age 24 of leukemia. All his life, he exemplified a joy in living, honor, integrity, a respect for all of God's world, and perseverance against all odds. This year, the recipient that has been chosen is undecided about future plans. But the committee felt that his joy through working with children and his use of other gifts of God in a diligent manner earned him this small reward and will no doubt contribute to his future achievements. We wish him all life's best. My husband and I are proud and happy to present this scholarship in the memory of our son, Robert Fenzen, to John McCarthy, Jr.
I was asked to present a gift of $500 to a well-deserving senior student, and the donor specifically requested that the gift be given in memory of Carrie Harpster, who was a WHS freshman and a member of the JV volleyball team this past fall. Because of this, it was decided that the most appropriate person to receive this award would be a senior volleyball player. Carrie definitely was a well-liked person who showed a lot of enthusiasm on and off the court. She was always eager to help others as well as to improve her own strengths and weaknesses of the game. The position she played was setter. It's a position where one assumes a quiet leadership role and controls the game by setting up the big spiking plays. Appropriately, the recipient of the award is also a setter. She played this position for 4 years, 3 of which were played as a varsity member. I could rely on her more than I ever gave her credit for. She possesses what I call a quiet enthusiasm. She's not a vocal or emotional person, but her steadiness and desire to win was always present in her play. I think Carrie would have looked up to this individual as a role model volleyball player, and she would have been happy to know that this award is being presented to someone who intends to further her volleyball career in college next year at Grove City. At this time, I'd like to present this gift of $500 to Lisa Adams.
The Wadsworth High School Academic Boosters Club was formed this school year to promote and recognize academic excellence. To quote a letter to the editor in last week's Beacon Journal, we also believe in what she referred to as the 4 R's: readin', writin', arithmetic, and recognition. In our first year of existence, the Academic Boosters has paid for the prizes for the high school short story and poetry competition. We have hosted treats for scholars, recognizing the 200-some students who made the honor rolls in the 3rd grading period. We also donated $50 towards the newly formed Scholarship Foundation of Wadsworth. And finally, with the profits from our Wadsworth sweater sales, we will award today 2 $100 scholarships, which we call Book Allowance Awards. We chose our winners from applicants for the Scholarship Foundation of Wadsworth Scholarship. Our first recipient is a fine young woman who has been a teacher's aide this year. Besides keeping good grades, she's been active in Lil Sis Club, Spanish Club, Key Club, and Voice of Democracy. She's been active at First Christian Church in the Youth Fellowship and babysitting in the nursery. Besides her other babysitting jobs, she has also worked at an ice cream stand. She plans to attend Kent State University and fulfill her dreams of becoming a teacher. It is my great pleasure to present a $100 book allowance scholarship to Miss Jeannie Lynn Feaster. Our second award winner is a fine student, a young man who has had a busy high school career. He has been on the varsity soccer team for 4 years, a member of National Honor Society, French Club, Ski Club, track, and baseball. He took the Ohio Scholastic Achievement Tests in Algebra and Algebra 2 and was in the Ohio Math League. He has had a newspaper route for 6 years and has worked at a funeral home. He hopes to pursue his studies of math and business at Case Western Reserve University. It is with great pleasure that I present a $100 book allowance scholarship to Mr. Stan Richardson.
For the past 6 years, the Wadsworth Running Club has put on a 4-mile classic road run in March. This is the 3rd year we have donated the proceeds for scholarships to a male and female track and/or cross-country athlete. The male recipient has lettered in track and cross-country. This young fellow probably runs more miles than any 2 runners. I have watched him run for 2 years, and he always pushes himself to the max. He's quite a character and fun to be around. My buddy, Eric Kuiper. The female recipient has lettered in track 4 years. I had the pleasure of being her coach this year. This young lady is a very dedicated worker in anything that she does. She made my job as coach very easy. She took charge of the team if I was late for practice. She's very nice and very beautiful person. My captain, Susan Bruni.
Good morning. Thank you. The Winifred B. Young Award was first presented in 1969. The late Miss Young had directed $1,000 a year to be awarded yearly to a Wadsworth graduate. The recipient is determined by the Wadsworth City Board of Education by recommendation from the Superintendent of Schools. On behalf of the Wadsworth Board of Education, it is my honor and privilege to award and congratulate the recipient of the 1988 Winifred Beach Young Scholarship, to Miss Stephanie Vetter.
Good morning. My name is Mike McMahon. I'm from the Air Force, and I'm here to give away a 4-year ROTC scholarship to one of your fellow students. This year, I'm extremely proud to present a certificate of recognition to one of your students who made it. It's a tough competition system. 14,000 people nationwide apply for a scholarship through the Air Force, and one of you guys made it this year. He's going to get a 4-year scholarship to university or college of his choice along has an RTC program from the Air Force there. And Daniel J. Whitman, you're the winner this year. Congratulations, guys. Super job. Super job.
Good morning. The Wadsworth High School Faculty Scholarship is a new award to be presented for the first time to the class of 1988. As a faculty, we wanted to show our support for higher education and scholarship in a tangible way. A committee was formed among our staff to establish criteria for what we hoped would be a substantial award. The committee, with input from the entire faculty, decided that the scholarship should be awarded on the basis of academic excellence, character, service, and need. The committee went back then to the faculty asking for financial commitment. We were very pleased with their generosity and enthusiasm. Next, we received applications from more than 30 very deserving seniors who were all then evaluated by all contributing faculty members. The selection process was difficult. The committee considered each applicant and each evaluation he received. We soon realized that awarding this new scholarship to a single senior would be impossible. Fortunately, due to the tremendous support of the contributors, we are able this year to present 4 $1,000 scholarships. And even narrowing the candidates to 4 was not easy. We congratulate this year's 4 scholarship winners and hope that this award will help each of you achieve your academic aspirations and that you will make Wadsworth High School very proud of your success. I'm pleased to present this year's award winners: Andrea Bedoin, John Evans, Ann Lyron, and Nikki White.
Okay, Ann, it's all yours.
Our next set of speakers will honor excellence in education. Dr. Joseph Webb, Awards of Distinction and Academic Excellence. Mr. Keith Leggett, Perfect Attendance. Mr. Gary Havens, the Outstanding Academic Students in the Math Department. Mr. Gorman in the English Department. Mrs. Perillo in the Foreign Language Department. And Mr. Horsberger in the Social Studies Department. Mr. Gary Havens will also talk about national math exams. Mr. John Gramuglia, Bruin Top Staffer. Mr. Dave Schaefer, Outstanding Vocational Students. Mr. John Miller, Outstanding Business Student. And Mr. Anthony Palya, Dustin Kramer Memorial.
Thank you, Ann. Wadsworth Senior High School stresses the importance of academic excellence. Therefore, it is appropriate that these students who have maintained a 3.25 average or grade point average for their 4 years in high school be honored. We encourage excellence in both college preparatory and vocational education courses. Each year, the State Board of Education issues the Award of Distinction for students who have completed the basic studies curriculum and award of distinction for the vocational education students as well. Please open your program to the middle section. In basic studies, these students have taken 4 units of English, 3 units of math, 3 units of science, 3 units of social studies, and 3 units of foreign language. Would these students whose names appear in the program please stand and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. In vocational education, these students in your program have met the criteria of excellence in personal qualities, school activities, and skill proficiencies. Would these students please stand and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. I will issue these certificates after the program from Dr. Franklin Walter. The academic award system at Wadsworth High School has been developed to recognize student achievement in the classroom. These following 38 seniors, these following 38 seniors are a very rare group of young men and women. They have maintained a 3.5 grade point average or better throughout their 4 years of high school. This outstanding accomplishment demonstrates their fortitude, intelligence, and drive to succeed in this very tough academic school. With the following seniors, as we call your name, please come forward.
Forgive me if I mispronounce a few names. Amy Allen, Julia Andrews, Andrew Bedoin, Chip Boyce, Susan Bruni, John Clocker, Debbie Cranston, John Chazar, Kelly Davis, Becky Ernest, Wendy Ensor, and Beth Freeman. Dave Gerchenschlager, Marcy Hahn, Tammy Hukirk, Daniel Hauk, Dusan Janik. Ken Klicka, Debbie Lutz, Ann Lyron, Christina Marvin, Scott McComas, and Scott McMillan. Don Mix, Susan Moffett, Christine Powell, Lynn Reardon, Teresa Reyes, Stan Richardson. Carolyn Rogers, Greg Rogers, Julie Rulin, Catherine Swanson. Christine Turchin, John Verghese, Dan Whitman, Scott Wilcox, and Julie Wuchter.
The following juniors, again, this is very important. It's, I keep telling the juniors, you know, don't relax, don't go into the glide pattern your senior year and so forth, so please. The following juniors are receiving their third-year awards, again, for maintaining a 3.5 grade point average for their 3 years at this high school. And as I stress to you each time, please continue the good work. So at this time, with the following students, please come forward. And for the third-year awards, again, each year I say this, it's hard to find something different or unusual. And the school couldn't afford cars, so we got them key change instead, so they can drive the parents' cars. So with these people, please come forward. Christy Clark, Jennifer Cope, Heather Herbs, Mike
Trino Matt Giordano. Gary Gruccio, Carrie Hall, Erica Harrison, Patty Hevner, and Prentice Hurst. Beth Kelly, Jeff Kleckner, Kathleen Lee, Lori Leonard, Darren Lopp, Tracy Madigan. Jennifer Mitchell, Jacqueline Platek, Amy Plez, Carla Polomsky, Patricia Rack, Rochelle Ritz. Jacqueline Russell, Brandon Saylor, Lynn Seaman, Jessica Shipe, Dave Tittle, Wendy Welch, and Catherine Williams. Let's give all these students a good round of applause for academic excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, this next award requires dedication. It also takes a little bit of luck and good fortune and living right. That's perfect attendance. I'm going to call a list of names. I'd ask that each of these students please stand but remain where you are and remain standing. Juniors, John Bajoric, Paul Bajoric, Michael Campbell, Randy Fike, Shannon Flaherty, Sharon Gill, Marianne Hagenbaugh, Patricia Hevner, Tony LaPero, Tracy Madigan, Jessica Shipe, Tim Swain, Amy Wise, and Thomas Woodward. Seniors, Andrea Bedoin, Tracy Bowman, Keith Brubaker, Danielle Cheney, Dave Gertzenschlager, Mark Hartzler, Sid Hoffer, Andrea Metcalf, Jennifer Sherrill, and Peter Skandrovic. As you look around, each of these students have had perfect attendance all year. Now, for those names that I just called, if you can be so fortunate as to hang in there for another week, we will announce over the PA and ask you to stop in the main office and pick up a certificate on Monday, June 6th. Okay? Thank you.
Good morning. Bertrand Russell, a famous English philosopher and mathematician, once called his subject a subject we never know what we are talking about, nor whether or not we are saying is true. Even though the concepts of mathematics often deal with the abstract, I'm going to deal with you with the concrete. As a matter of fact, mathematics and sciences throughout the ages have traditionally served as the keystone in the maturation process of a nation in terms of building a firm foundation rooted in leadership, discovery, and the enhanced social progress of its populace. For this reason, we must recognize and honor those individuals at Wadsworth High School who provided the backbone of our mathematics program and very much helped us to rise above the other schools in the area and provided a sense of dignity to our community. We competed in many math events this year, doing well in virtually every contest, too numerous to mention. But the two tests, the National Math Test and the OML Math League contest held on Tuesday nights, had to be our most outstanding. This year, WHS placed 33rd in the state on the national test, and we placed around 20th on the Tuesday night Math League contest. What you have to realize is that over 30,000 students in Ohio participate in these contests, and virtually all 500 high schools. On the national math exam, our team of 5 individuals all placed in the top 1% of all Ohio students taking the exam, and they furthermore all qualified to take another exam called the AIM exam. These 5 students, I'll tell you a little bit about each of the 5, and if they would come down as I'm speaking about them, I'd appreciate it. John Weedeye, a senior, had the highest score from Wadsworth on the national math exam with a score of 109. That placed him 75th overall in the state. So he has an award pin and some certificates here that I'm going to give him. Carolyn Rogers, a senior, had the top award last year as a junior and is a repeat. She had 105 points on the national math exam and will also receive a certificate and several pins. Robert Futamura, a senior who's taken calculus at Barberton now, also had a score of 105. I have some hardware for you. These 3 made up the scoring team, but then 2 other students complimented them and scored over 100 also. Chip Boyce had a score of 102. I have a pin certificate for you. And the last award winner is a sophomore, and I guess he won't get to be recognized till later on this afternoon, so I'll save that honor for something special later on. So if you would come forward. We also competed in the Ohio Math League, a league whose purpose is to compete in all areas of mathematics on 6 contests held during the year. We finished approximately 20th overall, but not all 500 schools in Ohio participate, so it's not quite as big of an honor as the former. We've been giving some sort of token of our appreciation the last 3 or 4 years for the top scorers at each grade level. So I'd like to present the top scorer to the senior and junior respectively. Carolyn Rogers, if you would come down again, I have a copy of standard mathematical tables, which I think will help you in your future pursuits, hopefully in mathematics. And our top junior was Carrie Hall, who's a repeat winner from last year. I have a copy of the Algebra and Trigonometry Problem Solver for you. So if you would come down, please, both of you. Now, picking a top math student of the year this year was particularly tough. As you can see, that there was a lot of team awards, so it was really a challenging and thought-provoking process for the department to come up with one person that was truly outstanding when there were so many of them. We narrowed the list to 6 people, as a matter of fact, and I'll tell you a little bit about the award winner. This award winner was a member of the scoring team on the national math exam. This person had a score of 105. This score of 105 placed this person as 145th in the state, again among 30,000 participants. This award winner was also the top winner of the OML math contest held this year. But most of all, the one item that really can't be measured with a testing instrument, but means to the most to us as educators, is that this person was willing to share her talents with others and was willing to help and encourage others in the classroom throughout her 4 years. This unselfishness, consistency, and dedication to the field of mathematics was clearly exemplified by the winner, Carolyn Rogers.
Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to wish the class of 1988 the best in their future endeavors. I also at this time would like the following 5 juniors to stand as I call your names. Brandon Sailors, Matt Giordano, Dennis Gambo, Heather Herbs, and Erica Harrison. Each year, the American Legion and the American Legion Auxiliary sponsor 5 people to attend Boys and Girls State. It is an honor to be chosen to attend Boys and Girls States, and these 5 young people will be attending and representing the class of 1989. How about a round of applause for these 5 individuals? Also at this time, it is a pleasure for me to announce the outstanding social studies student. She is not a newcomer to academic excellence. She is also not only an outstanding student, but an outstanding individual. It is my pleasure to present the Outstanding Social Studies Student Award to Julie Rulin.
It's my privilege today to present the Foreign Language Outstanding Students Awards. Since there are 3 languages and each one represents a slightly different discipline, we have an award for each an outstanding student in Latin, in Spanish, and in French. These students have demonstrated a love for foreign language, talent, enthusiasm, and endurance. The outstanding Spanish student for this year is Susan Moffett. The outstanding Latin student, Jennifer Cope, and the outstanding French student, Scott Wilcox. Please come down.
Generally, it's difficult for the English department to even philosophically agree on what day it is. So when it came time to deciding who our outstanding English student was, it took a lot of discussing and philosophizing and mulling over. Generally, in the past, there's been one student who is clearly, above the other ones, and it's made it easy, but this year it was just nearly impossible. Again, we had it down to 6 people, and we'd been there for an hour, and it looked like we were going to stay there forever. We finally got it down to 2 students who are completely different, one from the other. Their skills are different, but they both are excellent in composition and literature, which I think is the basis of the award, but they're also involved in other aspects of the fine arts, whether it be drama or forensics or whatever. So Dr. Webb was kind enough to, for the first time, allow us to give 2 awards because we just could not decide. We're absolutely deadlocked between these 2 young ladies, and there was no way that we could tell either one of them that they weren't perfect. So you can't be better than perfect, and the 2 perfect people from the English department's point of view are Miss Carolyn Rogers and Miss Teresa Reyes. So if you'd come down and get your awards.
Good morning. This award recognizes the member of the school newspaper staff who possesses outstanding attributes in the following areas: writing prowess, investigating skills, creativity, workability, responsibility, and always looking to do a little extra. It is obvious from reading the Bruin this year that this person has helped us earn first place honors in Northeastern Ohio Scholastic Day and has also consistently written quality articles. She has truly brought our staff together and closer together and kept us on track when we were easily distracted. I especially would like to thank her for her time and effort and wish her the best in the future. This year's outstanding Bruin staff is our editor-in-chief, Andrea Bedoin.
Morning. My name is Dave Schaefer from the Wadsworth Rotary Club. We are giving an award to the top male and female vocational student selected by a committee of teachers, administrators, and counselors. The top female vocational student is Tammy Kennell, who is in the Cooperative Business Education Program. Tammy has been a merit roll student and president of OEA. She has learned her office skills through her classes at Wadsworth High School, volunteering in the high school library and attendance office, and working in the office at B&W Barberton. This has led to a full-time office job at ASEA Babcock at Park Center here in Wadsworth. No suspense on these. The top male vocational student is John McCarthy, who is in the Teacher's Aid program. John lettered in football and basketball, is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and is an outstanding teacher's aide working with a kindergarten class at the Sacred Heart School. His job target is to become a teacher. John's loyalty to Wadsworth Senior High was shown when he chose to complete his senior year at Wadsworth after his family moved to Delaware.
My name is John Miller. Elmer Larson, the donor of this next award, could not be present and asked me to fill in for him. Back in the 20s, at the time when very few people here present except myself can remember, the United States had a president named Calvin Coolidge. He was a man who didn't believe in excess in anything, particularly in words. At a reception after his election as president, a gushy woman came up to him and said, "Mr. President, I just bet a friend of mine that I could get you to say more than 2 words. You lose," said the president. I'll try to be brief. This award was originated a number of years ago by Elmer Larson in the belief that excellence in education, particularly as it pertained to business, should be recognized, and this award, which includes a trophy and a $500 United States savings bond, is to go to the outstanding business student whose qualifications for this award have already been mentioned by Mr. Schaefer. The award this year goes to Tammy Kennel.
Good morning. I'd also like to congratulate those parents that are here this morning, and particularly to the senior class before they leave us this year. This next award is in memory of a fellow Wadsworth High School vocational student that graduated a few years ago. The family would like us to remember Dustin Kramer, who passed away after he graduated from Wadsworth High School. This award is presented to the outstanding vocational automotive student. This year's recipient is Travis Freeman. Travis, come on down. We're going to switch.
Our next speakers will honor excellence in fine arts. They are Mr. Joe Gaines, National Forensic League, Mr. Mark Williams, International Thespians, Mr. Joe Gaines, Voice of Democracy, Mrs. Sandy Nito, Art Contests, Mr. Sam Mays and Mrs. Sandy Nito, Outstanding Students, and Sergeant Chris Brannon, Outstanding Musician.
4 years ago, we had approximately 15 students on the speech team. In this past year, we've qualified 16 students to state, so the team has certainly grown. One comment I would like to make, and that is that I feel that the seniors of this year, 1988, have contributed a great deal, not only to the success of the speech team, but the success of a very fine school year. I'd like to now read to you or tell you who the state qualifiers are in speech at our district tournament. There are a couple sophomores, but most of them are either juniors or seniors. In oratorical, Kelly Bales, would they please stand? Senior in oratorical, Renee Kemma. Senior, Carolyn Rogers in original oratory. Senior, Nikki White in original oratory. Junior, Dennis Gambo in U.S. Extemp. Sophomore, Derek Ellitage in foreign extemp. Senior, John Weedeye in U.S. Extemp. Senior, Susan Moffett in foreign extemp. Senior, Amy Kruder in prose and poetry. Senior, Bob Futamora in humorous and terp. Senior, Amy Allen in drama. Senior, Teresa Reyes in drama. Junior Jennifer Cope in drama. Senior John Verghese in Lincoln Douglas. Senior Chip Boyce in Lincoln Douglas debate. And our president of our organization and our leader of our organization, senior and qualifier in Lincoln Douglas debate, John Clocker. Please give him a round of applause, please. We went to approximately 13 tournaments this year. Our season begins in late October and ends somewhere in March. After our little district tournament, we have a tournament which is called Biggs, which is both the Akron and Canton areas. To go to the national tournament is an honor, and to place and to qualify to the national tournament, you have to either place first or second at the big district tournament. I'd like to recognize these people who placed third, and then finally the person who did qualify to nationals. In third place, going, or almost wishful, third place in original, Nikki White, third place in drama, Jennifer Cope, and third place in foreign extemp, Susan Moffett. The next individual is exactly that, an individual. In the 4 years I've known this young man, I will always remember him with a Batman t-shirt. And that was in my mind today and on my copy today, and he wore the shirt today. I hope it's not the same shirt he had as a freshman, but it might be. Going to nationals and representing Wadsworth High School at Nashville, Tennessee, in constitutional extemporaneous speaking, is Mr. John Weedeye. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm very proud of our theater program, and anytime that one person represents a program, they need to take time to thank those other people that helped the program grow. And today specifically, I'd like to thank Mrs. McNamara, Mrs. Perillo, Mr. Gaines, and Mr. Mays, and certainly the faculty and administration of our high school, and of course, all of you who came to see the theater presentations that we put together. And I thank, and the rest of the staff thanks all of you for supporting this program. A quick review of what we've done this year. It started in September with our Actathon, which is our fundraiser in the gazebo downtown. We moved into our first production, The Miracle Worker, and what I would like to have right now is those people who were on the cast or the crew of The Miracle Worker to please stand up quickly. Our next undertaking was with the theater, the newly organized theater classes. It's a theater arts survey, it's an elective, and it requires or fulfills the requirement of your 1/2 fine arts requirement for graduation. My classes toured all the elementary schools with several Christmas programs, which was quite enjoyable, and the elementary schools really appreciated it. Next, we moved in our next production, which was Huckleberry Finn. Quickly, the cast and crew of Huck Finn, stand up quickly. A unique thing happened with Huck Finn. After the presentation, I found out that several representatives from the Ohio State International Thespian Society were in attendance. After the performance, I received a letter inviting our cast and crew to go to Cincinnati to the state conference and perform our show for them. We traveled to Cincinnati, had a marvelous time. It was a great experience for everyone. After the show, of course, we tore the set apart, as we do after every show, and then upon receiving the letter and accepting the invitation, my crew set forth to rebuild the Huck Finn set. Along with that, they were also building the set for On the Town, so they're actually doing 2 shows at the same time. Our next show in the spring here in April was On the Town, the musical. And quickly, the cast and crew of On the Town, stand up. And then I'd like to put a plug in for our next show. It's an independent study, directed, produced, and performed specifically by Amy Allen, a senior. She'll be accompanied by 10 other of her classmates performing this show this Friday at O.J. Work Auditorium at 8 o'clock. It's entitled Talking With. It's a series of 11 monologues, women monologues, and they're very different. You might want to catch that show this week. And then in the summer, June 16, 17, and 18, we'll have a children's show, which this year is Jack and the Beanstalk, directed by another senior, Bob Futamara. Of course, this year wouldn't be complete if I didn't mention the newly formed Drama Booster Club. Parents, community members got together and have formed a support group for the theater. And I'd like to extend my thanks to those people who are members of that. Quickly, we had 2 inductions this year for the Thespian Society. In order to be a thespian, you have to have participated in theater and accumulated a certain number of points. Our minimum points are 20, and so you have to be quite active in order to be inducted. In the fall, if these people would just rise as I read your name, we inducted Cynthia Grimm, Pam Dahl, Carolyn Rogers, Veronica No, Mark Byers, Teresa Fisher, Kelly Lekowitz, Carrie Hall, Michelle Miller, Jackie Platic, Natalie Sedorenko, Mike Schaefer, Mike Newman, Jeff Davis, and Herbie Hartsoe. This spring, we had a record induction of 22 members. Amy Kruder, Shannon Furman, Julia Andrews, Heidi Wilkie, Chip Boyce, Renee Kem, John Clocker, Matt Giordano, Mike Jones, Mark Cranston, Jessica Pell, Kelly Connell, Jason Myers, Corky Monza, Mike Gibson, Amy Kaiser, Bob Klein, Jenny Becker, Tom Wayan, Susan Kaiser, Becky Shippey, and Linda Keller. We had a banquet this year where we honored the people who were outstanding, and I'd like to just read through these announcements, and those people would please stand. Our best actor was a freshman, Bob Klein. Our best actress was Ann Lyron. The best supporting actor was Bob Futamara. The best supporting actress was Susan Moffett. The best musician was Heidi Wilkie. The best minor role went to Pam Dahl. And the best technical positions were Jason Myers and Brian Sheehan. The thespian with the most points, which is an incredible amount of points, that means that she's spent much of her time in theater, with over 200 points, was Amy Allen. Now, our best thespian, which was selected by our booster club, went to Carolyn Rogers. Our officers for thespians this year and for the coming school year will be Mike Schaefer, President, Erica Harrison, Vice President, and Brian Sheehan is the Secretary-Treasurer. I appreciate all of your support, you people coming out and seeing the shows. Keep supporting us. The program is growing. And if you saw our On the Town and saw the Cavemen, you'll know that you don't need any talent to get on stage with us. Thank you.
Each year at Wadsworth High School, we have a contest called the Voice of Democracy. It's sponsored by the Veterans of Foreign Wars. And I know it's not always the most in thing to be, that is patriotism, being patriotic, but I think the senior class has shown a great deal of patriotism. The following people have placed in their speech contests here at the high school in third, second, and first. In third place In the Voice Democracy, certificate goes to Miss Amy Allen. Would you please come and receive the award? In second place, in Voice Democracy, certificate goes to Miss Susan Moffett. And the outstanding first place winner and a representative in the Voice Democracy and an interesting person and a true American. First place, Mr. John Verghese. Don't worry, John, your check is in the mail.
The Ladies Auxiliary of the VFW has awarded a citation of merit and a $50 check to Jeff Baker for outstanding performance in the Creative Patriotic Art Program. Jeff? We had awards from all of the shows that we entered this year, and we had one of the students' work that went to New York City for the national exhibition. So I'm very proud of my art students. I would like for you, when I call your name, to please come forward and remain standing until I hand out all of the certificates, please. First, from the prestigious Scholastic Regional Exhibition, and I might add that there were over 2,000 entries and only 10% received awards. Honorable mentions went to Chris Stansel for ceramics, Jeff Baker for ink drawing, and April Walkley for ceramics. The Medina County Visual Arts Show winners were David England, who placed for colored pencil, Sherry Johnson, who placed for ceramics, Mark Clevedence for ceramics, and Jim McCarty for watercolor. Honorable mention, Todd Shelley for colored pencil, and Amy Brannon for watercolor. Second place went to Kevin Staub for felt tip drawing, and first place to Jeff Baker, who won for his ink drawing, first in the county. From the Wadsworth City Schools Art Show, which is presently at Steiner Youth Center, third place for David Wagner for colored pencil drawing, Troy Mackaman for ceramics, third place, Brian Rush, ceramics, and Todd Shelley for colored pencil drawing. Second place, David England for scratchboard, April Walkley, second place for ceramics, Amy Johnston, second place for pencil drawing, Mike Farino, second place, ink drawing, and first place went to Jim McCarty for his portfolio. Sherry Johnson, first place for her ink drawing. First place, Becky Cripps for photography. First place to David England for his surrealistic pencil drawing. And Mark Clevedence for ceramics, first place. Jeff Baker, again, first place for his cartoon drawing. I'm very proud to announce that our best of show went to David England for his colored pencil drawing. I also have 4 students that I would like to recognize for giving of their talent and their time in painting the beautiful mural for Isham School Library. These students spent their Saturdays and their time after school in working on this lasting reminder for their skills, this contribution that is very enjoyable, and it will remain through the years for our community. These people are April Walkley, Jim McCarty, John Snyder, and an underclassman, Richard Clark. I'm especially pleased to award at this time the Most Outstanding Student Award in the field of visual arts, and it goes this year to April Walkley.
It is my distinct pleasure to be the presenter for this next award, the Outstanding Student in the Performing Arts. And this year, the recipient is a very deserving young woman, and that is Amy Allen.
The other Outstanding Performing Arts Student Award this year goes to a gentleman who has been in my organization for the past 4 years, has shown outstanding performance abilities on the local, state, and national levels, representing Wadsworth High School and himself. And this year's recipient, who 10 days ago was also named the Outstanding Jazz Soloist at the Ocean City Music Festival, Mr. Rob McConnell.
First of all, let me start out by congratulating the senior class this year. It's a big step in your life, and a couple of weeks here you'll be going out to the real world and seeing what it's all about. My name is Sergeant Brandon. I'm with the Marine Corps, and I'm here today to present the Semper Fidelis Award for Musical Excellence. The Marine Corps is proud to have one of the finest musical programs in the world. The most notable aspect of this program is the Marine Corps Band. The Marine Corps Band was formed in 1798 and has played at every presidential inauguration since Thomas Jefferson's, henceforth the name the President's own. In the late 1800s, the band was led by the March King, the great John Philip Sousa. For 12 years, the Marine Corps realizes that there would be no Marine band without dedicated young musicians that begin their training in high school. For this reason, the Marine Corps promotes the high school band program by awarding the Semper Fidelis Award. In recognition of diligence, dedication, and musical excellence as a performing high school bandsman and soloist, I'm honored to present this year's Semper Fidelis Award to Gene Steele.
Service in education will be recognized by Mr. Dan Whitman and Ms. Terry Reyes for NHS Outstanding Teacher and Mr. Chuck Parsons, Retiring Personnel.
Each year, the National Honor Society meets to select a new Teacher of the Year. This honor goes to a member of the faculty who not only teaches the textbook basics, but also teaches lessons that will help his students better deal with experiences later on in life.
The teacher that we have chosen this year fits this criteria perfectly. Those seniors who have been in his classes will unanimously agree that this teacher is able to broaden their knowledge on such unlikely topics as French Impressionism, existentialism, and Shakespeare, while at the same time making them laugh.
This teacher has created a lasting impression in our minds by teaching us, in an interesting and fun way, about things to which we would otherwise not be exposed. By being so excellent an educator, he has given us a great gift in knowledge. At this time, we would like to present to you the National Honor Society Teacher of the Year for 1988, Mr. Robert Gorman.
Well, my goodness. I thought they'd let you know ahead of time about something like this. I am really surprised. I don't know what to say. Only that I really love what I do. I just really enjoy teaching, and it's fun. I mean, I really like to come to school, and I once said if I ever got to a point where I didn't like teaching, I just couldn't do it anymore, because it's a lot of energy, but I just really, really love it. And of course, it's this school and this community and these people that just make it a delight. I don't know what to say except thank you very, 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 very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You can do it. Good job. Excellent thinking. Super. Let me help you. Are you all right today? I'm here if you need me. A smile, an encouraging hand on the shoulder, high expectations.
These are just a few of the tools of individuals in one of our country's most important professions. Good teachers make a positive, long-lasting difference in the lives of hundreds of young people. All of us have been blessed with at least one teacher who has challenged us, cared for us, understood us, and supported us. Good teachers are a valuable resource to this country. Today we are honoring 3 individuals who have been working in our community for many years, helping and guiding young people. Mr. Al Arnold has taught vocational carpentry for the past 19 years. In addition to giving his students the skills needed to be successful carpenters, he has left a legacy of beautiful homes throughout the town which his students have built. Mrs. Betty Drewis has worked in our attendance department since 1972. She has been a great friend to education and a guiding light to many wayward teens. In addition to spending countless hours encouraging students to attend school so that they could benefit from their instruction, she has worked tirelessly with young people troubled by drugs and alcohol and personal problems. In my estimation, she's an excellent example of tough love. Mr. Thomas Hampton taught in our district and coached for over 30 years. During this time, he's demonstrated in many ways that he loves kids. He's encouraged them both on and off the athletic field. He's encouraged them in the classroom, and he's been a friend to hundreds and hundreds of students. He's going to be missed. To all 3 of you, I thank you for sharing, for caring, and helping our sons and daughters. Please join me in applauding these 3 individuals as they come forward to receive a plaque in honor of their many years of dedicated service.
Students and guests, I know those bleachers are mighty hard by now, so go ahead, stand up while we change platforms here and relax a bit. Please come back to order when we ask.
Athletic awards will be presented by the following people: Mr. Bill Thompson, Powerlifting Contests; Mr. Glenn Wojciak, H.J. Hall Memorial; Mr. John Martin, Helen Allen Liebert Memorial; Major Ron Shin, Scholar Athletes; Mr. John Maffei, Tony Detweiler Memorial; Sergeant Chris Brannon, Marine Corps Distinguished Athlete; Mr. Gary Lovelace, Booster Club Outstanding Athlete.
Didn't think I owned a suit, did you? I would like to present to you this morning a young lady who's done some remarkable things in the past year. She is a power lifter. She's broke her own national record in the deadlift 3 times just this past year. And just 4 weeks ago, she broke the world teenage record in 3 different lifts.
a world teenage record. The most impressive of which was the deadlift, where she pulled an incredible 365 pounds. By the way, that's 2 pounds more than the women's world champion pulled last month in a meet in Europe. 2 pounds better than the world champion. She's also an outstanding athlete as well as student. She plans to attend Ohio State this fall. I think this Latin phrase best describes her. Mens sana in corpore sano. A sound mind and a sound body. Please help me welcome Miss Amy Hinman. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of Sun Newspapers to present the H.J. Hall Award. Originally, the award was called the Grizzly Memorial Award, and it was first presented in 1949 to James Foreman. Former news banner publisher H.J. Hall created the award to honor outstanding Wadsworth High athletes and also to remember past athletes who had served in World War II. About 10 years ago, the award was renamed after the late Mr. Hall, who is remembered as a great supporter of local sports in Wadsworth. The winner of this award is chosen by his peers and receives a wristwatch with his name and the name of the award engraved on it. He must have played football and at least one other varsity sport. The recipient is also chosen for his display of team spirit, clean play, leadership, sound classroom work, willingness to follow orders without complaint, and faithful attendance in practice sessions. This year's winner certainly meets all those qualifications and more. He has earned the respect of his coaches and teammates on and off the field. He was a record-breaking receiver in football, an outstanding guard on the basketball team, and a champion quarter miler in track. This year's H.J. Hall Award winner is Scott McMillan.
Good morning. I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about Helen Allen Liebert. Helen Allen Liebert was graduated from Wadsworth High in 1933 and went on to compile a brilliant record of success on the tennis court and in basketball, badminton, tennis, and skating. Women's interscholastic athletics were not a part of the public school program in those days, so her triumphs had to come later. She won the Akron City Women's Singles Tennis Championship in 1933 through 35 and 36. And then later in the year, she defeated a future world champion, Shirley Fry. Fry later won the Wimbledon. Miss Liebert shared the winner's role in doubles and mixed doubles many times here and in Akron. She won the Wadsworth women's singles several times. She was coached in her early days by Carl Harder and the late Edwin Barker. Tennis was not her only sport, however. She was a star player and a top scorer with the Ohio Match Girls team in the Industrial Basketball League, was crowned champ in numerous table tennis tourneys, both in singles and doubles, and filled in occasional with the Methodist men's team in the church softball league. She helped found the Wadsworth Women's Golf League and has served for a number of years in the Red Cross Water Safety Program at Grandview Pool. The Helen Allen Leipert Memorial Trophy goes to a senior girl athlete who best exemplified the qualities of athletic skill, character, scholarship, leadership, and team spirit, which combines to set her apart from the others. This year's recipient in athletic skill, to mention a few of the accomplishments, she earned 9 varsity letters here at Wadsworth High School. She is volleyball and basketball player of the year in the Suburban League the past 2 years. Past 2 seasons, she's been Medina County's most valuable athlete in both basketball and volleyball. This year, she was selected to the All-District basketball team, and she is honorable mention All-State. She is a career scoring leader in the history of Wadsworth basketball with 1,338 career points. Character, she's active in her community, in her church, and in her school. She's been the president of our Fellowship of Christian Athletes this past year. And most recent Friday night at the Northeast Ohio Fellowship of Christian Athlete Recognition Dinner, she was selected as the most outstanding female Christian athlete in Northeast Ohio. Scholarship, she's in the National Honor Society and rates very high among her classmates in overall academic achievements. Leadership, she's been the captain of the volleyball and the basketball programs. She lives by example. She lives by an example I hope that my children will follow someday. It's indeed an honor to honor Julie Rulin.
Good morning. I am Major Ronald Shin. I'm the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 92nd Field Artillery, an Army Reserve unit in Akron. With me is Sergeant Sikorsky from the Recruiting Command for the Army and the Army Reserve. Today at Wadsworth High, I'm honored to continue what has become an important tradition by presenting 2 outstanding students with Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Awards. The 2 students whom the Army Reserve is honoring have achieved the winning combination, excellence in both academics and athletics. They have achieved a balance that many people aspire to, but only a handful achieve. I'm happy to be here to give them special recognition for their accomplishments. This award honors the mental quickness needed to be an outstanding scholar and the agility and skill needed to excel in athletics. The National Scholar Athlete Award was created 8 years ago by the Army Reserve to honor top students. Over 80,000 high school students have won the Scholar Athlete Award, so today's winners join a long list of distinguished winners, students who are team captains, debate champions, student officers, community leaders, and Olympic athletes, students who have put forth that extra effort to be all they can be. I am proud to have the opportunity to honor 2 of the nation's finest young people right here at Wadsworth High in presenting the 1988 Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Award medals to Julie Rulin and Scott McMillan.
Tony Detweiler was an excellent athlete and a much admired leader. By continuing the tradition of honoring a student with a memorial award each year, we keep his memory alive. I am pleased and honored to present this award today because it had meant so much to me when I received it. It keeps his name alive and also is voted by your peers. This year's recipient of the Tony Detweiler Award is Ron Jones.
Since the United States Marine Corps was founded 212 years ago, we've enjoyed some of the most demanding physical requirements in the world. We require Marines to be in top physical condition, top form, in order for the Marine Corps to be successful in its mission. The Marine Corps realizes that the foundation for good physical fitness begins in the high school athletic organizations. In addition to good training habits, high school athletes are well aware of teamwork and discipline, two very important ingredients in the makeup of a Marine. For this reason, the United States Marine Corps takes pleasure in promoting the high school athletic programs by presenting the Distinguished Athlete Award to the most outstanding high school athlete in the school. This year's recipient is Scott McMillan.
Good morning. I'm Gary Lovelace, and I'm president of the Wadsworth All Sports Boosters. I'm going to be presenting the Outstanding Male and Female Athletes Award. These awards were established in 1979 by the All Sports Boosters Club for the purpose of recognizing the outstanding male and female athletes in the 1988 graduating class. Some previous award winners was in 1979, Janet McCormick, 80, Chris Bajoric, 81, Stephanie Weichert, 82, Mary Beth Monroe, 83, Carol Brannigan, 1984, Shannon Finn, 1985, Jenny Gill, 1986, Jeannie Riley, and 1987, Amy Burnett. This year's award winner has earned 8 varsity letters during her high school career. She spent 3 years in soccer, earning 3 letters, and was captain in 1987 and most valuable player in 1987. In basketball, she played 4 years, earned 2 letters, was most improved player in 1987-88. In softball, she played 4 years, earned 3 letters, was captain in 1987, and most valuable player in 1987. If you will, I would appreciate you in helping me honor this year's 1988 most outstanding female athlete, Miss Beth Fox. Some of the male athletes that have won this award from 1979 forward is 1979 Jim Reynolds, 1980 Scott Brewer, 1981 Bill Owenslager and Ken Saul, 1982 Ken Eli, 1983 Barry Fernholz, 1984 Chris Wurst, 85 John Rulin, 86 Blake Currens, in 1987, Bart Randolph. As president of the All Sports Boosters, we're also going to make an area open out in the trophy case so that these people can be recognized there. This gentleman earned 9 varsity letters during his high school career. In football, he played 4 years, earned 3 letters, and was most valuable player in 1987. Was also the all-time leading receiver. In basketball, he played 4 years, earned 2 letters, and in track 4 years, earning 4 letters, and was a state qualifier. If you all again will please help me in welcoming and honoring Mr. Scott McMillan.
Our next set of speakers will recognize leadership and character. They are Mrs. Sharon Gandy, Students of the Month, Mr. Willard Houston, I Dare You Awards, Mrs. Karen Longfield, Whisper Outstanding Seniors, Mr. Bill Owenschlager, Jerry Ann Segrist Memorial, Mrs. Sally Porter, Lori Segrist Memorial, Dr. Michael Bates, Gyro Club Award, Miss Jennifer Gambo, Women's Leadership Award, Mr. Keith Leggett, and Edward and Arnold Goldstein Memorials, and Dr. Webb will issue a closing.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to the class of '88. You're about to embark upon the most interesting part of your life, I think. I envy you. Also, congratulations to the parents of the students we've recognized today. The Medina County Student of the Month Award is sponsored by the Medina County Gazette and the local Kiwanis clubs, and it's intended to recognize just that, those people who are students in the true sense of the word. That is, they're multidimensional, they show sound character, leadership potential, and involvement in a variety of things. All in all, I like to think they are fine people. This award is very different because it is a peer recognition program. The students, a student committee, selects the winners of our monthly competitions. We then go to Medina and compete with students of other Medina County schools. It's no surprise, I think, that most of these students that we're about to recognize have already been recognized today in some form or another because, as I said, they are fine students and fine people. If you'll please come forward, a member of the committee will pass out your awards to you as I call your name. Our students for October were Stan Richardson and Susan Moffett. For November, David Gerstenschlager and Ann Lyron. Ann was also selected county-wide winner in November amongst all the Medina County schools. For December, Greg Rogers and Terry Reyes. For January, John Verghese and Andrea Bedoin. For February, Dan Whitman and Amy Allen. For March, Scott Miksch and Carolyn Rogers. For April, For April, Scott McComas and Julie Rulin.
for May, Julie Wookter, and Chip Boyce. Thank you.
The I Dare You Award recognizes young people who have demonstrated motivation for leadership through a balanced approach to life. The award was first offered in 1941 by William H. Danforth, businessman and philanthropist, who dared young people to achieve their highest potential and to influence others through lives of service. Mr. Danforth believed that a balanced fourfold life of mental, physical, social, and spiritual development sustained an individual for the demands of leadership. The award consists of a personalized certificate of recognition and a copy of Mr. Danforth's book, I Dare You, a classic in the field of personal motivation. Also, recipients are eligible to receive a scholarship to attend one of the American Youth Foundation's national leadership conferences held each summer in Michigan and in New Hampshire. The recipients of this year are Amy Plez and Mike Jones.